The Gnawa music, I got it in my mind. This African blue, I got it in my soul.
Hey Steve, listen, I've had to put this video on YouTube to try and get it to you because I can't figure out how else to get it to you, apart from turn it into a YouTube video and then obviously just posting it on the WSO YouTube site, hoping that you'll get to view it. So anyway, going back a couple of months, you know, when we were all looking in the southwest sky, I ended up seeing this thing. Well, I didn't see this thing. I mean, basically, it happened by accident. I had a video camera to hand, and I've got tripods because I was into photography before. I've only got a basic video camera. Open the aperture up to 1.6. Zoomed in, and away we go. So I'm going to talk you through this. The reason I've done a narration is just so that I can actually, I think it'll help you understand how this is working. I believe that there's loads of these surrounding the Earth, you know, perhaps into the millions. They've come at this time. This is just me theorizing. They've just come at this time because of everything else that's going on. This one here in particular, sorry to interrupt, if you see, it's got some sort of weird white thing underneath it, and that actually comes up and touches the bottom of it. You'll see it flare. I believe it's like beaming down some sort of vibrations, raising our vibration on Earth. I don't know. So I've kind of like just tried to, I've got tons of this stuff, but I've just picked out random clips, and you know, I suppose when you're just looking at it, because I've been filming so much, I can understand. There you go, it flares again. I'd say I don't think it's anything from, you know, you got to be careful what you say, haven't you? You know, whether it's alien or whatever. But I do believe that it's alien, just because I've never seen anything like this. And as the video goes on, you'll realise that, yeah, stuff going on in this. You know, they're watching these guys. I've never seen anything like it, really. So it's just mind-boggling. I kind of also feel that there's some sort of weird connection between me and these things because of the way that they act. Sounds a bit crazy at the moment, but you see as the video goes on, they start doing really bizarre things. So in this one, if you look, you know, at first, you know, like, because you do filming as well, you can see that there's one at the bottom that keeps coming up, and that's what I'm looking at there. I'm zooming in and out. I'm looking for that one at the bottom as well to see whether it's doing it. Here it comes. And there it goes, flaring. See, through the video you get to see hopefully I've given you as many different variations. But to the naked eye from a distance and with a telescope, it just looks like a star, I suppose. There must be something in with a video camera that breaks that down. You know, some nights I've tried to film them and they're not wanting to know. So okay, in this one's playing with me. It didn't want to be filmed. So I've just stood back and just let it do its thing. See that clear stuff, I don't know what that is, but that's a bit weird looking. I mean, it's just one of those crazy things, isn't it? Because you think, like, first of all, we've got giant red planets heading towards us, which, as you can see, I'm a believer now because I caught 4 of those moons next to ours at the beginning of this video. Sometimes you just need to get out there and find out for yourself, really, and that's what, you know, in my mind, I was thinking I need to. You know, I didn't disbelieve anything you guys have been putting out. It's been excellent. You know. I just didn't realise I'd end up finding this sort of material. But yeah, you've been going on. The reason I've decided to send it is because you were going on about how bright Venus was in the sky. Same as a lot of people over here, and you know, frustrates me a bit because I think, well, if you zoom in on it, you'll see that that isn't actually Venus. It's one of these things glowing in the same way that this is, or these glow. Not at the moment. This will glow in a minute. It will calm down. And also, you know, I've heard you mention that I don't know where you got that data from, but that basically there was a lot of plasma that was hitting the Earth. There goes your flare. And again, and as you notice, as it flares, if you look at the core of it, it glows like a bright white. And it comes back in.
See it? Right up there. That's the red one.
Where?
So in this one, what I'm doing is I'm showing you how many. I'm trying to get as many into the frame as I can. Can you see them all bouncing around? Which again makes me feel like they're all connected. I don't know how far these are away from Earth. Again, it's something you'll be able to relate to because it's just like, you know, once it comes to space, it's just like everything is just bonkers. Again, trying to demonstrate to you guys that there's some connection. I don't know what it is. Like they definitely seem like satellites that are all joined together, that are all beaming some sort of vibration, if you want, down to Earth. These 3 I've been after for ages, and I managed to catch them. You know, it's supposed to look like some sort of weird dagger, I think my wife calls it. She's going, I don't really know much about all the. I'm thinking that's the same. And then when you bring it towards the camera, you can see, yeah, it's just another one. I mean, maybe that's where they got their name, Star People, because they can actually mimic stars. And I was kind of thinking that you know, you've got a worldwide following Maybe you could just ask your viewers to get out with their video cameras and see whether these things are all around the Earth, because I believe they are. I mean, I saw Scott posted a whole bunch of stuff with these things, but they just didn't get that close to them. They kind of caught them from a distance. So I think it's, the tripod is key. I mean, the other weird thing about it is that, I did go on the internet and have a look, see whether you could use a camcorder, film the night sky. Everyone's saying no, can't be done, can't get anything. So these definitely aren't distant stars, because I just can't imagine how that would work. But I don't know how close they are to the Earth, and why no one else has, not seen anything else on the internet that's picking these up. It just adds to the whole bizarreness of everything that's going on at the moment. To think that, yeah, I suppose I know you're the same, Steve, because I don't know whether you've picked up on that whole alien relation. There is a relationship between Nibiru and aliens for some reason. That we were spawned, or with, they put their DNA in us 6,500 years ago. I think just some of us, because you were going on about it, saying they're holding us back, and I just think some of us have woken up early. Maybe they have been, we have been controlled. Maybe that is the case. I don't know, but I just know that my consciousness is just expanding at just a bonkers rate. And, all the stuff that we're looking at, seeing, it's crazy. It's like being in a dream or something. So that's the other thing that's worth noting here is that surface doesn't look flat. It looks dimpling. It always has the yellow, and then the other thing is, like, you see the way the bottom looks like it's been cut off, or it's filled with something darker. That changes when you bring it nearer to the camera. It just looks like one thing, but there you go. But I think even when you look, even when you're zooming right the way out, you can still see there's like a field that goes around the outside of them. So again, just so you can get an idea of size, because that's another thing that's hard to show in video, but I would say this is the size of, or it feels like, I don't know whether it is or not, but it feels like it's probably the size of our moon or Earth. They could just be tiny. I mean, the scary thing about it is they're so agile. the way that they can move around, you know, it's hard to believe. And equally the fact that I'm picking them up on a video camera. So yeah, they freak out every so often. They do some crazy dance. Oh, by the way, you know, like I feel good feelings towards these. I don't feel any negativity. I think that's relevant to say. They almost seem quite playful. Yeah, they can do some crazy stuff. I don't know whether you can see that. I can really see that pulsating, glowing, kind of like purpley colour coming underneath and then going white. So yeah, if you want to feel free. I'll actually put it in writing when I post this to your site that you share it or do whatever. See this craziness that's going on here where it decides to just doesn't want to play and off it goes. Can you see there's more? Watch all around it because there's kind of more that just seem to pop up from nowhere. Yeah, here's the kind of, you know, I kind of like to think that they do this to charge themselves up. I mean, I wouldn't want to be on that. Maybe they don't happen. I kind of I feel really giddy if that is a spaceship and I was see, just it's belief really. One minute you're small, then you're big. Okay, so this one's a flashy one. So it doesn't want to be filmed. And then it kind of looks like it's two together. I don't know whether it is two together or not. I don't know how to figure this out. You've got one red side, one blue side. Okay, just pops back into the screen. This ain't going over. Yeah, it's so busy. Yeah, it's popped up. Come back at the bottom. This one flies straight at me. Like I've been splurged. Yeah, so you just get weird things like this going on, which makes me believe, yeah, that's some sort of interaction, isn't it? That's camera's just perfectly still. And then they kind of do this thing where they kind of like, you can almost tell before they're going to flare because they're kind of building. And away she goes, any minute now. There you go. Don't know, that just reminds me of something that's been in something down. That's... I mean, we are vibrational at the end of the day, aren't we? So, yeah. I don't know what you guys think. So here's the thing where it lights up. Again, you can see the bright light in the middle before it flares. And that's definitely giving up some sort of energy. That clear stuff around it. What is that? And bearing in mind that the camera's just on a tripod here, so I'm not affecting this. This is just some sort of like, there you go, it's just flowing straight up. And again. And it just depends on the night. I mean, some nights you go out, they're there all the time. It really isn't that difficult to get any footage of these guys. But it does vary depending on, you know, and again, I can't tell whether there's mist or cloud in the sky. You know, normally only ever go out. You can only, they're only there when it's clear. But you know what? When you get that fine mist, it might make them look different. And there's another flare. But it's this flaring thing that I find really interesting. That, you know, it's just because you and Wayne were going on about plasma hitting the Earth. You're thinking, well, yeah, that looks like. See, that fills up my whole screen. Okay. Okay, so I've zoomed out, and then I'm coming back in. So again, that one that's in between two of the trees at the bottom of the garden.
Number 3, in another direction. What are these things? What is that behind it?
I mean, it's the crazy thing. I decided to do the narration over the top just because it's okay with this one. This one's going to give you an example of this one's definitely showing off. It's being very playful. It creates a perfect O in a minute. But I think it's getting. I don't know whether you feel the same, Steve. But it's, like with you doing these live broadcasts, I totally get that at the moment. I just think it's getting harder and harder for all of us to communicate to each other about stuff that's going on, to articulate. Like with this. I've shown people this footage. It's probably a lens flare. It's probably this, probably that. I'm thinking, you're kidding? Can you see what's going on? But I suppose it's just where it's not what you're saying so much as or what you're showing people. I think it's just people's heads are just busy with everything that's going on, so you just shut stuff out. How crazy is this? And you can see this plasma that's around it as it's doing this. I'm convinced that they do this. They must do this to charge themselves up. There's this whole dance, and then at the end of it, turns back into one of those blue spheres and then flares. There it goes. And there's the flare. Right away across the screen.
I'm going to show you.
And as you can see, I didn't move anything. I just had that. Everything was perfectly still. This one's crazy because I caught this one out because I zoomed out. I kind of like flew right at me. I was like, where's it gone? So I kind of zoomed all the way out again. And then it scoots in from the left hand side. It's hysterical.
Look between those trees.
Look at that, it just dropped down from the top. Can you see that? They're tricky to bring in, you have to be really gentle with you. This one's just flies straight at me once I get it to a certain point. Yeah, no. And then I can't see it, so I have to zoom out. But watch, it seems to arrive in the frame a lot later. So zoom back to the trees. It comes in from the left. So yeah, they're definitely playful, and they don't give off a bad vibration. As crazy as this may seem, that I'm talking to you about something that I'm looking at the sky and saying that I'm having some sort of interaction with it, but there you go, we're in crazy times. So. But I think this is something that will just interest you and Wayne if you're into your space thing at the moment, big time. So listen, I got loads more footage. I don't know how I'm going to get it to you, but I just hope that you get this, because I think this is something that will interest you. So yeah, I think I'm coming to the end, so I'm going to say goodbye. God bless. And get out there with your camcorder on a tripod and see for yourself. It's powerful stuff, you know. Once you start looking for yourself, it's very different than relying on video footage that comes from around the globe.
No, I'm just going to look somewhere else.